Hello, everyone. Welcome to Convenient Truth. I'm Aaliyah.
And Joe.
And Joe. Hey,
That was great.
so
That was a great intro.
yeah. We're back. We've been away for a little bit. Scheduling is just really difficult, really, to be honest. It's so hard for us to get anything done because I don't function past like 6 o'clock.
Yeah, we're doing a late podcast now. So you got your like energy drink or like crack or something.
No, but what happened was I've literally been mentally preparing myself for this since I woke up this morning at 7 a.m.
Ah.
So since I woke up, I've been like, I have a podcast at 8 o'clock. I have a podcast at 8 o'clock. And so then I've been getting hyped and then hyping myself up and all these things. So that's what's getting me really to this point.
Right. Okay. Well, good.
Yeah.
Here we are.
So anywho, we don't really have much to really recap because our lives are just kind of like whatever. We're just
We've been
working
talking.
and
There
living
is.
life
It's just a
and
bunch of boring stuff. We got family coming in.
family coming in, blah blah, all that wonderful stuff.
We got a big Gatsby Days parade. I don't know if
Huge
you know about
Gatsby Day
that.
parade coming out. It's a big thing here in Rhode Island in certain parts. And that's basically it. But today I'm actually like super excited because we have a guest on today. And I'm excited because this is a fellow clinician. She is a licensed social worker in not only the state of Florida, but also in Louisiana. So she also has worked in the substance abuse population for quite some time, also with the elderly population, with dually diagnosed individuals, schizophrenia. And I'm sure she could elaborate and go on a little more in depth in terms of the specific populations that she's worked with. I have worked with her in treatment facilities. I actually have learned a lot from her. She's actually really kind of like one of those individuals who not only has been a colleague and someone who I've just been really close friends with, but who I really truly admire as a clinician. I've learned a lot of my skills from her. I'm a therapist snob. I don't know if anyone actually knows that, but I'm a huge therapist snob. So I'm really picky about clinicians in terms of who I feel like is really skilled. And she is one of those people. So Yolanda Adams is who we're going to have on. So let's bring her on.
Yeah.
Boop, 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 boop. That's what.
All right. Well, great. Glad to be here.
Hey, Yolanda. Welcome to our show, Convenient Truth. How are you doing?
Welcome.
I am doing well. I'm doing well, adjusting to Louisiana.
Yeah.
Coming from Florida. It's
So hold on, you just moved there?
almost a year ago.
Okay.
Yeah, almost a year ago.
Are you from there?
Yeah, I am literally. I live on the street where I grew up. I'm about two houses down from my mom. Part of the reason coming back to Louisiana is I wanted to be near my mom as she got a little older, so I could secure my inheritance.
Are you near Shreveport?
I'm actually on the other end of the state. I'm near LSU. I'm in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Oh, nice. Yeah. No, our friends, Melissa, she is from Shreveport. And
really?
Yeah, they go there all the time.
That's also in Louisiana?
Yes.
Yeah.
Northern Louisiana.
Baton Rouge is like the main, that's
capital city.
Oh, it's the capital. Right.
Yes. Everyone knows New Orleans, but Baton Rouge is the capital.
Oh,
Aaliyah may or may not know the capital of Florida. Aaliyah may or may not know the capital of Rhode Island. Oh, no, I just
Providence.
gave it to her.
There we go.
Gave it to her.
I know it. First of all, I didn't even know that there was a capital of Florida. Who'd even knows that?
Every state has one.
Every state has a capital.
All right, we won't get it.
Yeah, we're gonna move on.
Interesting.
That's my friend. I love my friend.
So really, I mean, I want to kind of get into and talk a little bit about really just you, who you are, what you do, what you've done, really, just like in the past to kind of, get you to today and just talk a little bit about like your life. What makes you you? What makes you this like clinician?
Hold on. Well, I mean, we don't want this. This isn't like an interview, but like we do want to know.
Well, I want some background so that people know who we're talking
let's,
to.
Let's let's give them a brief little introduction. You tell us about yourself, but I mean, I want a free flow, don't you?
Yeah. So the long and short is I am me. I am a Leo because I like that. I like claiming that part of my narcissistic, arrogant personality.
Absolutely.
And I always say if it's true, then it's not bragging. So I grew up in Louisiana. Knew probably by the 10th grade that this was not the place for me and there was more of the world that I wanted to see. So after I graduated, I got a degree in journalism. I worked for a couple of newspapers, magazines, and kind of bumbled around in my 20s on what I like to call my bohemian vibe, and really had my midlife crisis early. So I had it in my 20s and 30s and then settled in my 40s. So I got all of that out of the way. There's no fun left that I need to have that I hadn't had already.
Hold on, midlife crisis in your 20s? What was that like? What do you mean? What happened?
You know how you kind of throw caution to the wind? When the people have their midlife crisis, they go back and try to recapture a part of their youth that they felt they hadn't excised. Mm-hmm. Well, for me, I was like, let's do it all. Let's get to it. And I had a great time. I was fortunate enough when I worked for the newspapers, I had an opportunity to travel. I had an opportunity to meet, at the time, individuals who were, talent and stars. And we had just some really unique experiences. One of the ones that always stick out to me is I had an opportunity to sit down with Afeni Shakur at a home that she had in Texas, where she had so much of Tupac's memorabilia. And just to be able to sit there with her and talk to her, and she went out in her yard and picked a watermelon and no cap, we ate watermelon. You know what I'm saying? And she talked about the struggle and what her son meant. And this was after he had passed away, to have that opportunity. I've lived quite a few places and gone full circle, and now I'm back at home, and eventually probably will end up in Mississippi, which is the state where I was born. Just kind of getting back to roots. I think life in some ways is a kind of full circle event. The seed grows into a tree, the tree yields a fruit, the fruit produces a seed, and then it comes all back around again.
There she is. There she is.
There's who?
There you are. There's you with these great. She's always saying something that's like this, like a really just good way of saying something that makes you be like, oh yeah, exactly.
Like almost like sense. A poem.
Yeah, it is. A lot of what she says is very poetic. Yeah.
So I'm just coming back around. I've been fortunate enough with the work that I've done in my life to be involved in being a change agent. I just yesterday on Facebook saw that one of my clients actually graduated with a master's in family studies. And wow. This was someone, how we used to do it, Leah. There are some that need a little bit more love and a little bit more attention, and then sometimes a little bit more tough love. Yep. And a little bit, of I don't know, just they don't need leniency.
Yeah.
They don't need that at all. And so I was, I still get those moments of, I left something. That's part of everybody who I've counseled, who has made a change to me. That's part of my epitaph. Yep. I made the world a better place, maybe just one word at a time. And my approach to therapy has always been pretty simple. I just want a person to be a better version of themselves, and they decide what that is. I'm not going to get involved and get emotionally invested in stopping a behavior or change. No, it's what you want. If I can assist you in that, and that's, you believe that's the path where you need to go through conversation, hey, maybe something else will shake out and you'll make these minor adjustments and end up at a different destination. Right. But that's what I like about therapy. It's just basically a conversation. It's philosophy wrapped in love.
So hold on.
Philosophy wrapped in love.
So
Like
so what I got out of that, and I could be totally wrong, but it sounds like you ask them where they want to go, what they're trying to accomplish out of this therapy treatment, right?
Hmm.
And then you're saying whatever they say, that's what you go by.
That's where we start.
yeah.
Really?
That's where we start. So let's say I got somebody who smokes crack 3 times a week and they want to smoke crack once a week. Okay, well, let's
We're
start
gonna
there.
we're gonna get you
Let's
down
start.
to once a week.
What
Yeah,
if somebody
let's.
comes in and they're just like, they didn't really, they're there because somebody else told them to go there and they don't know why they're there. And then they're just like, I want to smoke crack every day.
Okay.
And you just say, okay, well, let's go down that path.
And what I would say to that person is, if that's the truth, then why are you here?
Right.
Because if you want to smoke crack every day, you just go out and do it. You wouldn't acquiesce to someone else's request for you to be here.
Right.
So
You
that
don't need to
means
be
that
here.
you don't have your own personal control. So maybe we should work on that.
So
Maybe you should be.
you'd have a tough time with me, because if I smoke crack, I'd come in there and be like, I don't know, I just like to talk to people and smoke crack. So then
Fine.
then I'd like lead you down this like rabbit hole of like,
Not necessarily.
No?
No, not necessarily, because as long as the conversation is honest, we're both going to gain something. As long as
right.
as long as the conversation is honest. So if that's where you are, as let's say, as a, hey, I want to smoke crack every day and I just want somebody to talk to. Hey, that's honest. Well, why do you want to talk to someone? What's missing? What are you looking for? And then for me, on the side of a clinician, hey, I may have to understand that somebody's going to come to me and they don't want change. They want company. They want companionship. They want some mentoring. They want, some nurturing. They may not necessarily be interested in change at that moment. But if you're seeking something, that means that there's a void. And so let's find out what that is and let's explore that. And that void, as you say, could be termed as a rabbit hole, but it could also be a tunnel. It just depends.
There was this this one person in particular who, how we like have these people who we work with, and there's just like, there's some of them that will just forever leave an impression. You will never ever ever forget anything about them. It's just like there, right?
Yeah.
So there was this individual male who I worked with at this other facility. This is like after BHOP where we worked. And I remember him coming in on his own, like nobody made him go in. I think maybe his parents were kind of just like, like, look, like we're about to just stop talking to you altogether. But at this point, he was already homeless. So he was already living on the streets. He was already, right? So he comes into us. He probably stayed for literally maybe about an hour and a half, 2 hours, right? And then at the time I was a director. So of course, they pull me in. Now we got to do the AMA, which is trying to block someone and prevent them from leaving treatment, basically. So I sit him in the office, we're talking, and I'm coming at him with in every angle, basically, like, okay, well, I mean, like, what do you have right now, like in your life? Like you initially came. So what'd you come for? Like, so I'm tackling all these things, get it. At the end of the conversation, he was like, I just want to live my life. I just want to live life the way that I was living. I want to go back out on the streets. And I was like, so you're telling me that you want to continue to be homeless and live on the streets and panhandle? And that's what you want to do? And he looked me dead in the face. I'll never forget this. He looked me dead in the face and he was like, yeah. And I was like, so what about living on the streets is just like better than, I guess, the possibility of something else in life? And he said, because he's got no responsibility. I got no responsibility to anybody else but myself. I could do whatever I want. I can fail. I could succeed. I could do this, and no one's going to give a shit about me. And I'm fine with that. And I was like,
how do you argue with that?
Okay. So obviously I came at him more, blah, blah. We had a serious talk, the whole nine. And then it just kind of like got to a point where I stopped like even really challenging so much, because I realized, like, because it was like an hour in, and then I just kind of got to a point where we were just having a conversation, and he really truly was just like, this is where I want to be. I know that it's not society's version of what they think I should want for myself. I know that clearly there's things that I'm running from. I know that. I'm not blind to that. He was like, and I know that. And he was like, I know all these things, but this is what I want right now. And I looked at him and I was like, all right, well, here's the paperwork. He signed it. I said bye to him. He was like, thank you. He left. And let me tell you something. A year and change later, I'm now living in Fort Lauderdale. And I'm driving just like to the store. I'm stopped at a red light. Who do I see?
You
Homeless
see your
on the
guy.
street asking for money. Him.
Mm-hmm.
Did you say what's up?
No, I didn't say anything, but I thought that was actually just like I was like, yo, this was like a year and a half ago. I was talking to him and he was talking about how much he was like, I know that I'm running. I'm fine. This is where I'm at. I want to be homeless. And a year and a half later, that's where he's at.
Hey,
That was his
can't argue with
yeah. I mean, you can't really you could really only go but so far. Like after a while, it's just kind of like, okay,
So you
like,
felt like
this is
he was
what
like truly happy with that decision?
No, I don't think he was really true. Well, you know what? I think that brings up another question in terms of, I guess, what is actually happiness.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that he truly believes that he's truly happy. That makes sense.
Because you only know what you know.
So I believe that he believes that he's happy and that he's content and that's the life that he wants for himself. I believe that. But I mean, I guess we can also have a conversation on what is happiness for someone. I think that happiness is different for all different types of people. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. When I think about happiness, I know it ebbs and flows. There are some days I'm absolutely ecstatic with my life being the way that it is. And the next day, nothing has changed, and I don't have as much contentment with it.
Mhm.
There's this restlessness that seems to, I think it's, like I said, it ebbs and flows in life. One day you're fine with where you are, everything is good, and the next day, none of your conditions have changed, but it's, part of it is the mood sometimes. Another part of it is expectations. Oh, I expected to have this, or I expected to be here. And sometimes when we look inward, we're not our kindest critic. And it really ebbs and flows. There are some days he's probably ecstatic, and then there are some
Right.
days he probably considers doing something different.
Right.
If happiness was a constant, the world would be a better place. But no, we have to, what did it say? Have to have sunshine and rain, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
That's all based on how you perceive life, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so going, I know we kind of got off on this like side thing for a second. That's fine, but you were talking just a little bit about really kind of like just your background, your life, what brought you here. So today you are in Louisiana,
Mm-hmm.
you're licensed in Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
Something that you had sent to me in your bio that I don't think I knew so much about was that you also have worked with the elderly population, specifically focusing on schizophrenia and other?
I worked at an inpatient mental health facility for adults 59 and up.
59 and up. Okay.
And up.
That's
Yeah. So some of quite a few of our patients had pervasive mental health issues since their 20s diagnosed. And if you can think about, there's a 30-year history of hospitalizations, medication changes, bizarre behavior, the breakdown of family systems. And in Louisiana, there's a 72-hour hold, and then there is what they call a PEC, which is a physician's emergency certificate, and then a CEC, which is a coroner's emergency certificate. And so if you have one of those two, I think a PEC is a 14-day hold and a CEC is up to 30 days. After that, they can seek commitment for you. So the problem is that the care for these individuals is still managed through insurance, and that could be Medicaid or Medicare.
Right.
So I'll have someone who comes in and they're in a state of psychosis. One guy believed that people were coming through the ceiling of his room to get him, and he was walking around with a gun. uh, prepared to shoot. Another one felt that somebody was coming for him, and they have a lot of paranoid delusions. And so these are individuals who are either a threat to themselves and others, or just a threat to others or themselves. And so we had to convince an insurance company that this person who came in, who is seeing things that are not there, talking to people who do not exist, are still in a state of psychosis that warrants inpatient care. Unlike substance abuse, it's hospital care, so it's above residential, it's inpatient. And then there is no residential care and there is no PHP. So imagine going from an inpatient setting back out to the
Back
street.
out to the light.
Yeah.
Wait, okay, so just so that everybody understands who's listening, just in case. So there's like different levels of care when we're talking about the world of treatment, the world of recovery, whether it be mental health or substance abuse. So what Yolanda was just talking about were the different levels of care: inpatient, residential, PHP, IOP. And typically what happens is when you go into a treatment facility for substance abuse specifically, you can go in at, let's say, the highest level of care, and then the goal is to kind of work your way through the lower levels of care to eventually transition out so that you can actually live life in a healthy way. So there's like a slow transition because of the levels of care based on medical necessity. What you're saying though is you're saying that for mental health and specifically the adult population 59 and above?
Yes.
Okay. So because of those two factors, there is no hospital setting.
Well, they're in a lockdown facility with us because they've either been a threat to themselves or others.
Okay. So
after about 7 days, the insurance company begins to push back on whether or not that person still requires that level of care.
Right.
And we're still reporting that they're responding to internal stimuli. Like, we'll sit down and have a full-blown conversation and get mad with the person that they're talking to.
Right.
Yeah. And this is a person that they'll say, well, did they threaten to hurt anyone? Well, no, they didn't threaten to hurt anyone. Okay, well, then they're no longer a threat to themselves and they no longer need this level of care. Now, imagine putting someone out on the street who is having a conversation with themselves, sometimes with individuals. They'll have a group of people with them, and they will interact in a way that's threatening to others. I think about this gentleman that recently was harmed, killed on the train in New York, and to me, he would have been the type of individual who would have been one of our patients. He would have been one of those guys. And we have these individuals who have these mental health issues, these mental health crises. And, we want to talk about what came first. Was it the mental health issue, or is it a gun issue, or whatever it is? But at the end of the day, if we're not treating the person and we're putting individuals back out there who have these issues and they have access to guns, I can't tell you how many of the clients that came to us had access to guns and different weapons, and nobody makes them give them up. I'm in Louisiana. It's red through and through. We have a senator who says, trust your fellow man, but keep a gun handy anyway. That was part of his campaign slogan. Right. So it's like, having worked in that setting, coming from substance abuse, I realized that there wasn't a lot of family interaction, because when you're 59, you pretty much burned all your bridges.
At that point, with that, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you burned all your bridges.
Diagnosis, yeah.
From an outside perspective, because I'm not a therapist, right? I see from what the story that you just told, the problem is the insurance companies. Like, they're basically acting as if they're qualified therapists to determine whether somebody should be in a hospital or out in the streets. That's what it sounds like to me. Did she freeze up? I think we lost her.
Yeah, I think she did freeze.
Oh, shit.
She might just have to log back in.
Yeah, if you're still there, just log out and
click
log
the link
in.
back at, yeah.
Like, close out and close back, come back.
But yeah, it definitely right? is. And actually, interesting enough, she could speak even more to that because she also worked for insurance companies.
Yeah, I was like saying it, but her face wasn't changing.
Yeah.
I was like, hold on, I think she froze.
Yeah, she also worked for insurance
Tell her
companies.
to log back in.
Yes, log back in.
Sorry, guys. Bad connection.
So it's going to be interesting actually to hear what she has to say, because she now knows it from both angles, from working for the insurance companies as well as being a clinician. So
man, I hope she heard what I said, because I'm gonna have to repeat that again.
it wasn't that much.
Yeah, I know. I thought I said it in a pretty eloquent way, and it sounded really great.
You did,
So,
but now you gotta. Well, I mean,
let me rewind. And,
do you think it's the insurance companies?
Okay. Hey, there she is.
Yeah.
I was
See that?
like
Yeah.
making my statement, and like you were just like, and I was like, man, does she not care about what I'm saying?
That was exactly what it was.
That's what happened.
Don, did you hear anything that I said, or do I have
No,
to?
right when you were getting to your ramp up, that's
Yeah.
when because both of you guys froze too, and I was like,
Okay. So yeah, I was just saying that I think that it's like it sounds like it's based on the insurance company is the real problem, not like outside, like even guns or whatever. It's like it's the insurance company is the one that's making the determination to send to be a qualified authority to make the decision on whether they're in a hospital or out in the streets, when they're not. They're just some person that works for the insurance company, and they don't want to pay anymore, right?
yeah. Well, they have different criteria. You know, you're familiar. Aaliyah is familiar with ASAM. In the setting where I was working, it was locus criteria, and what they do is they try to take something um, that is really not quantifiable. You know, how a person feels is really not quantifiable. That is something that is objective to that individual. The therapist sitting in front of them has a subjective as well as an objective view on that. What the insurance companies want to do, because the nuts and bolts of what they do is numbers and statistics, they want to get it into a place where they quantify. So if this person hasn't said that they're suicidal, and they are doing they're taking a bath and they're attending group, then they use those as an equation to say, well, hey, this person is doing better. And as we talked about, you know, happiness. Something yesterday I was ecstatic in the same situation I'm in today, but today I'm a little bit anxious and not so much. And they don't they give basically about 3 or 4 days of coverage at a time. And so in those 3 or 4 days, if a person is doing well, which you would think is evidence that the treatment is working, it actually is counterproductive for that individual, because now since they're doing well, then
Bye.
they can, yeah, you can go.
You
And
don't need this level of care. See ya.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
this is a huge problem with the healthcare system. I think it's like they just make, like you just said, develop some sort of equation or whatever to throw it like across the board at everybody, as opposed to taking healthcare as like an individual case by case issue, which
yeah.
it is, right? The across the board is what they do just to make it easy, but it's not resolving anything. It's just like saving money for the insurance company or government or whatever, right?
Yeah. And they put themselves in situations where lives are lost. You know, I know that I've advocated for individuals to stay in treatment because I absolutely knew that this person was not ready to go, and I knew that this person was trying. And
you're the authority figure. You're the one that they should go by. They don't know. They shouldn't know anything. They should go ask you, the person that's been with them.
well, I'll tell you what the trick is. The trick is that they have somebody who has an MD behind their name, and their medical director will usurp and has more what they would say clinical knowledge, even though they're reviewing something remotely. The medical director will make a decision on a 10-minute or 5-minute or 2-minute conversation as to whether or not this person is going to stay in treatment. And there's another trick to this. The insurance companies got slick enough that they said, we're not going to make the decision. We'll send it to a third party who'll make the decision. Well, the insurance company employs the third party. So what is the third party going to do? Consistently rule against the insurance company?
Dude,
Right.
everything to do with like pharma and the healthcare in this country is like a scam. There's all these backdoor
All
loopholes
these backdoor
that
loopholes.
that are not based on taking care of people and actually like helping people. It's based on like the bottom line. And I'm not saying like money and like capitalism is bad or anything, but like they're doing things that are immoral. And the more, and this is why I'm happy to have this conversation publicly like this, because the more people that understand this about our health industry, the better off we're going to be, and the more we can like push our politicians to like change the laws and all this other stuff.
Well, this is what's frustrating too. This is why, like, I mean, and again, I'm not the best person to, talk about people who've run for presidency because, I don't really know anything about that stuff. But from what I do know, I really haven't heard anyone who's either running, who has run, who became president, who did whatever. I haven't heard anyone really truly talk about those two issues, big pharma, right? And the insurance companies and mental health, and really like say, that's gonna be my focus. One of my focuses, I'm gonna really and actually do something. It's like no one, not even
you know who's talking about that?
Robert Kennedy.
Robert Kennedy Jr.
I knew.
Yo,
Joe's obsessed with him right now.
Yeah.
I'm now, I guess people probably would have called me a Republican or whatever in the past. I'm never anything, and I never vote or anything. But I guess my views have aligned with whatever. But now I am a Democrat because I align with Robert Kennedy Jr.
That's what happens when you start sleeping with a liberal.
But listen, no, I don't care anything about sides, blue or red.
What's so funny is that's actually, because if you're talking about me, it's actually like I'm actually nothing too, right? I feel like I'm very much in the middle.
We just call it like it is, and this is what I'm saying. I'm not a Democrat, and I'm not a Republican, and I'm not a Trump supporter, and I'm not a Robert Kennedy Jr. supporter. But what he's saying is great from what I can hear, and he is talking about the pharmaceutical industry and how it's a pharmaceutical industrial complex, and we need to dismantle it and not allow them to, pay off other congressmen and other politicians to get their laws written by themselves and things like that. So you guys should check them out. I mean, if you're a Democrat, you should definitely check them out. If you're a Republican, you should also check them out. If you're independent, everybody should check them out, because
I guess we're all independents then. I am equally disappointed in everybody. The fact that there's no compromise, the fact that there's this seemingly endless torrent of we're right, you're wrong, 24/7, and the divisiveness. I'm not a fan really of anyone. But one thing that I will say is it's really hard to champion mental health because the people who need it most, they don't vote. It's what are you going to do? Where are you going to pull the bus up to pick up 50 schizophrenics to take them to go vote?
I'm sure the politicians will figure out a way to do that, though.
Well, they did for people who come out of prison, right? Didn't they? I think they changed.
They let people out of prison just to vote.
Right. Well, they changed the law too, because at first it was like you couldn't
vote until after you paid all of your. You paid all of your legal fines.
They changed that shit real fast.
They let illegal immigrants vote.
Next, they are going to get a bus to go pick up a treatment facility.
You just gave them an idea.
Yeah. Hey, well, you know what? Call me. Call me. I got a ton of them. I got the answer to gun control. I got the answer, man.
Gun control, insurance, mental health, big pharma. Bam.
Actually, that's a good
shutdown
starting point for the second half of this podcast. You had mentioned that earlier, and I was thinking me and Aaliyah and I have had several conversations about not so much, I guess it has to do with gun control, but it's like what do you do if you're living in America where owning a gun is your right? Like, is there a way to mitigate, the wrong people from getting a gun, but is there a way to do it without the government being in control of it. Because if they're in control of it, they're going to take it to the China side, where basically nobody has guns, and then they have us under some sort of control of drones or social network in equity, something, whatever. But
paying for things with your hand. That's a real thing. Just came out in China.
Yeah, they have
in
a digital
China.
They have a digital currency, which they want to do here, and basically they can shut people's digital currency down.
China.
You know, they're doing that shit now.
China.
China.
They're doing all this in China.
China.
But they can do it here.
Yeah. Well, see, this is the thing. This is my thing, and it's comedic, but it could possibly work. Just tax the hell out of bullets. I mean, make bullets so expensive that you think twice about shooting someone.
Right. Honestly, though, that actually does kind of make sense to me, because for the things that are expensive in life, like I'm trying to think, like what I really, like, I don't know, maybe.
I'm gonna shit all over this, but keep going.
Yeah.
Something that I really financially care about a lot. I do think. My daughter's swim class. Okay, here we go. My daughter's swim class. I have to pay $100 and something fucking a month for this damn swim class, right? And so when she misses a class, if she does, I get real like on the inside. So much so that if I miss a class, that means moving forward, I get crazy about making sure that she does not miss a fucking class. Because in my mind, I'm like, I'm fucking wasting money, $100 and something a month for her to go fucking 2 times like in a month? Absolutely not. She's fucking going. You know what I'm saying? So I see that in terms of the bullet, the
tax
bullet
the
theory.
hell out of bullets.
Like, man,
tax the hell out.
Shooting up this school
everybody
right
can
now.
Have a gun. Tax
fucking
the hell
bullet
out of
costs
bullets.
like fucking $2,000.
You guys aren't actually thinking this through.
Go for it. Help me. Help me. Bring it on.
Okay. All right. That sounds great right now. Who's getting that money and what are they doing with it? Right? You're saying tax the hell out of them. The government. So you're saying give the government more of our money. We don't give them enough, right?
Hold on. Time out. Here we go. For individuals who have bullets, guess what they're going to do? They're going to stockpile what they already have. So now they'll be
already stockpiled.
But so here we go. Going forward, we're going to, let's say tomorrow, $1,000 tax on every bullet. $1,000 on every bullet.
Okay.
I know what you're saying. Give the government more of our money. What difference does it make? They're going to take it anyway. They look, before I get paid.
You've given up.
No, time out. I haven't given up. How can you say that and I'm not even finished? That's so inconvenient.
Well, we are the convenient truth, so continue on.
Yeah. So here it is, $1,000 a bullet. As crazy as it sounds, everybody who has bullets today, they know now that their bullets are worth $1,000 more per bullet than they were yesterday. So now there's a market of bullets. Nobody is buying new bullets. We're trading now in the old bullets, unless you're terribly expensive. So you say, okay, now we're giving the government more money. At the end of the day, they get paid before I do. When I make money, they get taxes before I do. They get paid.
Yes. I guess for somebody that works for somebody, yes. But,
yeah.
But, if you own your business, that's not the case.
But not everybody can.
Right. And then also,
it would be great if we could have a country full of people who work for themselves. I work for myself, and I hate to tell you this, it was literally the best and worst job I ever had.
It always is. It always is.
Yeah. And so for me, I was like, I'd rather.
It's the best and the worst.
Live differently. I
hear you.
Yeah, it wasn't for me, and it's not for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, every time I buy something, no matter what it is, every time I buy something, they're getting money. Even utilities, everything, there's taxes everywhere. They're getting money any way they want to get it. They're going to get it when they tax your house. They're going to get it when they tax your car. There's a tax on gas, tax on cigarettes, there's tax on alcohol, tax on everything. They're going to get the money And so when you say give them more, it's not giving it to them. They're taking it. And they'll come up, as you say, they're the legislators who are able to make the rule and decide what they're going to get. So this belief that I have some control over that, no, not when they are able to gerrymander districts and take away someone's control. Not when, what is it, how many of the last popular votes have gone to the party, to one party, and yet somebody from the other party was elected. We have all of these things in our system that are just kind of wonky. But I go back to it. If all of those things exist, tax the hell out of bullets. Now.
Okay,
now go.
Okay. Here's the issue with that. You can make your own bullets. Here's anybody's issue.
Or let me ask you a question. You say you can make your own bullets. You might be able to do it, but have you seen some of the people who get weapons? Do you really think that these people are capable of making their own bullets?
No, but what I'm saying is you're creating a black market.
And I'm black.
People are not going to pay $1,000 a bullet. They're going to go to the neighborhood guy that's charging $100 a bullet, even though that's
you mean like they did with marijuana? That's what you're talking about, and then the system comes back to the light. This is this is the way it is. You legalize something.
I think this is I mean, we might be getting too deep into this political stuff, but I think the problem is like people rely too much on government to resolve the problems, right? So
I don't know which people though, because
even in this instance, you're talking about tax.
I'm not relying.
So somebody has to. Somebody has to.
The money. It ain't coming to me. Maybe we'll get better roads. Maybe we'll get better education. Maybe we'll get better something that'll come out of it. Because that's what the rats are for. That's what the politicians are for. The politicians are there to cut off. They do. They do. As evidenced by the fact you say business owner. How are you able to do that? Where did you go?
What do you mean?
You're a business owner, correct? You own your own business.
Yeah.
Okay. By virtue, how are you able to do that? Did you just say, hey, I got a business and you were able to operate, or did you have to go to some governmental entity to be able to do that? Do you have a...
right, which I disagree with all of it. They're getting their piece. They're getting their piece of the pie from everywhere.
Did you give that up or did they take it?
What's that?
Did you give it up or did they take it?
I voluntarily went through the process and gave it to them because I knew on the other side I would eventually make money. Well, I mean, yes, there's a system that we live in that if you want to live your life and do certain things, then you go ahead and do that. I'm just stating, getting back to the $1,000 bullet.
Make it 2,500 now because you've been insolent.
Fine, $10,000 bullet, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
As soon as you do that, you're creating a black market where the person that you just were forced to let out of the mental house is going to walk down the street and go buy a black market bullet and do exactly whatever the fuck he was going to do before the bullets were $10,000.
Yeah, but I tell you what, when they walk down
and then we're all losing more money too.
Okay, but hold up. When he walks down the street to get that bullet, do you think that bullet is $10,000?
No.
Do you think it's less?
Yeah.
Okay.
Way
How much?
Less.
Wait, what do you think? Maybe $1,000? Maybe.
I don't know. If bullets were really $10,000 and I was on the black market, I'd be like, I'll give you 100 of them for $1,000 a pop. There you go.
I don't know anyone who would do that when you can sell them for $10,000 a bullet. They still have the opportunity to sell their bullets.
Nobody's buying them.
That would be the reason why guns would become obsolete.
Right, but hold on. Okay. All right, fine. Let's say that is the mentality, and that's what everybody's just like, fuck, we just can't buy bullets and we can't make them because I don't want to buy it off the black market because even the black market is fucking $9,000, right?
Or it may be $5,000.
Fine, whatever. Even that's crazy, right? So then shit, okay, nobody's buying bullets. So the black market is called the black market because there are no rules and it is what it is. So they're going to find the price where people are going to pay for it, whatever the fuck that is, $100 a bullet, whatever it is, right? Even if it's $10 a bullet, that's fucking 1,000 times more profit than they're making right now. So that's what it's going to be. But like, so then you got to go into the materials, all this other shit. But long story short, even if you got everybody to like say bullets are too expensive and nobody's buying bullets, and then they don't have guns. Okay, then tell me how we all protect ourselves when the government comes to your house with their guns and says, you're coming with me because you did something we don't like.
I will say to you, name one standoff that went in the favor of those that the government came for. And they had guns. Everybody, Ruby Ridge had guns, Waco had guns, everybody had guns. Nobody has more guns than the government. You never will.
Oh, no, the American population do. Like 10 times more.
Yeah, we can't even get everybody to get on a bus and go vote. Okay.
Let alone get together.
Right, but just wait till you make bullets $10,000 a pop. We're all gonna get together. Trust me.
Yeah. I tell you what, we getting together over bullets, if that is my contribution to society, then somebody bless me for my 10,000
people by making bullets $10,000 a pop.
Hey,
all right.
They'll love me. They'll love me. Because you know what? This country loves outrageous. Everybody loves outrageous.
Everybody.
Yeah.
We talk about this all the time. I don't personally think that I think what we see on TV and even YouTube and Instagram or whatever, a lot of the stuff that gets promoted and pushed to the top where everybody sees it, that is not the majority of the population. But it makes, because we're seeing on these high level, like on the nightly news or like on the first thing on your Instagram feed or whatever.
Wait, how do you know it's not the majority of the population?
Because there's a small minority that own these platforms, and they have already, it's already been proven that they are manipulating and blasting out information that either is true or not true or whatever. It's basically whatever whoever the owner is, whether it's Rupert Murdoch or whoever, and you could see it just in the news channels, right? Everybody knows CNN and Fox have a specific platform and an agenda that they're both pushing, right? Opposite of each other. Everybody knows that, right? So you don't think that that's happening across the board on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, fucking
I'm confused.
Whatever.
I lost you completely because I still don't know what the answer to my question was.
What was the question?
How do you know that that's the majority of the population?
No, I'm saying that it's not the majority.
The way that, no, I'm confused. I thought that you said that the majority of the population does not think like what the news.
No, I didn't say the majority of the population. I'm saying the reality is that it's a perception. Like what we see may or may not, I think may not be the main thing of like what's going on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they push an agenda on these channels, but that doesn't mean everybody that is a Republican thinks like this. It's just because it's on Fox and they're like focusing on one fucking guy that did something or whatever. That doesn't mean there's like hundreds of thousands of people out there that are doing that, right? So like,
I think what they're doing in Florida right now.
I think once again, I think we're getting a little deep, but like, I think a lot of people can get captured by a particular outlet that they look at, whether it's the news or whether even it's Instagram or Twitter or whatever, and whatever is the trending thing on there, it just makes them assume that everybody in the world is like thinking this or whatever, when maybe it's not. And I'm sure you sounds like you travel a lot, right? And we used to, but until we had kids, but I feel like when I go out and I talk to just normal people, I meet people on the street in like different cities and states and wherever I go, most people are pretty not crazy and kooky, and they have logical ideas and thoughts, and I don't know. Maybe I'm going off the deep
I don't
end
know.
over here. I'm just
I don't know. I think it's kind of
it's an
hard.
opinion,
I
really.
think
I
it's hard
guess.
for me to say certain things like that because I feel like I can only go based on my own experience. So if
Exactly.
I'm going based on my own experience, then what you're saying is gonna sound different from somebody else's experience, like that movie. So there was a movie on Netflix, the one that Kenya Barris did with Jonah Hill and Lauren London and Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, I think it was You People.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So my sister hits me up and she's like, yeah, so what'd you think about You People? And me, right, I'm going based on, again, just what I thought about it. But what I thought about it, I think, was also based on my own experience in my life. So when she asked me, I was just kind of like, I don't know, like I really like it was okay. Like I really wasn't really like so into it or whatever. And she's like, really? Why? And I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like they just like overdid it a little bit, like, or
I think
this
we
or
had a whole
that.
podcast
Like,
on that.
yeah, I was like, I just felt like it was just like too much or whatever. But what was interesting is that my sister did not. My sister
She related to it.
completely related to like so much of it, like completely, like, and it was so interesting hearing the examples that she was giving me as to why it is, or and how she related to it. And I was kind of, then at that moment, that's how I was like, this is really all just, and I've known that, but this is really all based on our own experiences. And then we base whatever it is that we go through, and people we speak to and things that we see, and we generalize it and act like that's like, no, it's just based on, because somebody else can have a very different fucking way of living and different encounters in life. So that's going to change that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, seriously, getting back to the gun thing, but yeah, but like real, like the $10,000 bullet thing. Okay, that's a great idea, but but no, Aaliyah and I have talked, and this gets back into the therapeutic realm of, like, if there was a way that you could have a third party involved in, because Aaliyah was talking about how there's like these regulations with guns, and you have to go through, to sign these forms, and you had background checks and stuff like that, right? And Aaliyah, initially she was saying how they need to have more regulations and stuff like that, and we were like, well, okay, do we? Or
I was saying that there just needs to be, I think, a actual mental health, like some kind of a intake, something, some kind of a something, screening, something, but like designed by actual like psychologists, licensed clinicians, people who really like understand exactly like what questions to ask, what to look for, blah, blah, blah. And I do think that a lot of that actually may have to be like an in-person, like you go somewhere and you have an appointment there and it's an in-person evaluation, because that shit can't just be you just answer something on a fucking piece of paper and then just fucking let it ride. Like it has to be like some serious thing. So I got all like technical. And then you were like, well, who's going to work? And I was like, well, the only people, like, the government would probably fucking,
then the government funds it.
They would fund it and da-da-da-da.
So they're paying the therapist.
So now they're paying people, which is going to be fucking nothing.
Then it ends,
which means that the quality of care really is probably going to be fucking nothing.
But then it ends up being like a system like the insurance company paying the doctor, right? They're going to answer it the way they want to answer, right? The way that the government tells them to answer it, which would be, no, you're not getting a gun because you have this little stupid thing that we don't like, and that's our rule, right? And then it all becomes a government run thing, as opposed to an individual thing where you're going to really get evaluated by a real therapist, and they're actually going to give you like a diagnosis or whatever, and then tell the government what it really is. How do you get to that point without the government being in control? I don't know. It probably doesn't exist. I just thought of this one where maybe the requirement would be, if you want to get a gun, all right, you personally have to go pay a therapist to go get evaluated, and then and you choose whoever it is, and then that therapist sends in the evaluation into the government. And then the government has no pay. The person takes the personal responsibility to pay for this evaluation. I don't know. That's the closest I've gotten.
I got an idea. What about if you have a car, you have to have it insured. If you have a house, you have to have it insured. Motorcycle, boat, your body. What about if you own a gun, you need to be insured? Now it's all out of the government's way. And
you just told us how you hate the fucking insurance companies and
but hold on, but here it is. Hold on. But now it's guns. So if you have a gun, you have to have a certain liability and an insurance. And then to be fair,
that actually does make sense though.
Yeah, I don't hate the government. I could care less about the government. The government only interacts with me when it interacts with me. And it's every road I ride on, the government put it there. The schools that I went to even my college, was a land grant university. I currently I'm about to be employed by I have no problems with the government. The government's been good to me. You know what I'm saying? I got no problems with the government. Me and the government get along fine. I just want to say that in case anybody from the government is listening.
But this is you, though. This is you.
Yeah, but here it is. If I want to have a gun, I need to have insurance. I need to have insurance on the ability to have a gun. So if I shoot somebody, they can be taken care of. If it's stolen or whatever, have to have insurance.
I think that makes total sense. It's the same thing for a car or anything else. Absolutely. And if I get shot or something or someone, because at least my insurance will fucking pay for that goddamn thing. Absolutely. Fuck that shit.
You get you're insured. So here it is. There's some money. The money goes to the insurance company. The insurance company is going to decide who they want to insure and not insure with a gun.
Insurance company.
And the insurance company is going to talk to another insurance company about this guy's mental health. Right. And they're going to be like, hell to the no. Mr. Burns, their paranoid, schizophrenic Vietnam vet cannot have a gun.
Not have this fucking gun.
Yeah, he cannot have a gun.
Yeah, even my idea, I was just thinking about it, if we even go that route, then they'll start being these new therapists that pop up that specifically deal with the gun license thing, and then they're just like giving people guns all day long. That's what I'll happen.
No, it won't. We don't even need a therapist to get involved. Just ensure you make bullets, expensive.
The insurance. The insurance company is like basically just almost as bad as the government.
Hey, but
I know you like the government, but
yeah, I like the government.
I know Yolanda loves the government.
Yeah. I
know you like the government. A lot of people don't like the government. Right?
Hey, the only reason I'm saying I like the government is because every time somebody my color says they don't like the government, they become a martyr. Tupac, Biggie. I'm not. Hey, I got nothing against the government. I don't have any Muslim names, none of that. You know what I'm saying? Government and me are fine.
Look, Yolanda, don't live in fear of the government.
Hey, that's easily said. Hey, that's you. You do you. Me, I'm in fear.
Don't bring that shit on over here.
That's your shit. That's how he feels.
It's okay. We're on Twitter now, so like the FBI is not involved anymore.
Hey. At the end of the day, the guy has lost a whole lot of money. Ain't no telling who. This is what I say. Poor finances make strange bedfellows. Forget politics. Okay.
Go with the poems again.
I'm telling you, man. Like what is lost? What 50% of what he put in it? Right?
Oh, I don't know. I don't care. Obviously, he doesn't care about the money.
He doesn't give a shit.
This is the important part, right? He doesn't care about the money. What does he care about, and why did he do it?
Here we go again. I could care less. I like the government. Man, government. They made good cheese back in the day. Government.
All right, Yolanda's all about insurance companies and government. Okay.
Yeah, you know what? If you quantify me however you want, just keep calling me alive. That you know what? You have honestly, if you have an idea that is radical and it goes against establishment, you're in trouble. If you're going against money
Yeah.
if you're going
Yeah, that's
against
bottom line.
the machines
real.
that produce money and produce power, and I'm just one little bitty voice, but in the way the world works now, this could go viral, and all of a sudden, I've said something that tens of thousands of people. I am not duh. I don't know nothing. I know nothing.
Totally.
Yolanda,
No, I hear you.
this
Back in the
pod,
day, I wanted a cult. I don't want a cult anymore. I'm out of
Back
that
in the
business.
wanted a cult.
Yeah, I mean, that was like the pinnacle of my success. I'd have my own. I'd have a cult. You know what I'm saying? Can you imagine your own cult? Come on.
Imagine.
Yeah, that's what Trump is caught up
Fucking
on now.
Trump.
He
Look
got
at
his
that. Trump's call.
Yeah.
I mean, with so
How much
many
money did he
fucking
make
people.
on hats?
Oh
You know?
my God, that guy.
Yeah,
Fucking-
but anyway, but me, I got no problem with nobody. Not the government, nobody. Just make sure we get that down. Don't love the government is okay. I don't love them, don't hate them. I'm neutral.
all right, Yolanda,
Insurance. Yeah.
let me work a different angle with you. You're a therapist, right? So what people like us we do is we try to empower individuals, right? To come into their own, speak up for themselves, right? That's what our country needs to do. That's the problem. That's what's going on. This is why you feel the way that you feel, right? And it's to me, I look at it, I'm like, you shouldn't have to feel like that. You shouldn't have to say, government's great. Don't worry. Don't come see me. You know, you shouldn't be living your life like that. You should be living an empowered life where you are the individual that is in control of everything that you do, and you are not in fear of saying anything about anyone. And you know what I'm saying? And this is what we do, or what you guys do as therapists, is to do
fantasy.
That for people, right? So
utopian fantasy. I'm sorry, I just got a utopian fantasy. At the end of the day, we have a long history, verifiable, a long verifiable history of squeaky wheels going under dirt. So you're saying I shouldn't. You're right, I shouldn't. But guess what? It would be ignorant not to.
Well, I just
I mean, how many people died suspiciously? You know what I'm saying?
Right. I hear you, but that's the reason why that's the reason why they kill Martin Luther King, a fucking JFK, a Tupac, a Biggie. They kill these high profile people so we'll all look and be like, I don't want to be Biggie.
No, they killed them because they were talking too much and said the wrong things, and the other people heard them and felt empowered. I get you on that. I got no problem with that. What I am saying to you is I am not a tree shaker. I'm not going to go shake the tree and have fruit fall down. Check this out. I'm not even a jelly maker. I'm not going to go pick up the fruit and make jelly. I'm not a tree shaker or a jelly maker. I just watch the fruit fall. I watch the fruit fall and go,
all right.
Fruit on the ground.
All right.
Damn fruits on the
We
ground.
will boil this down. We'll boil this down.
Totally how I feel.
Fruits on the ground.
All right,
what y'all gonna do about it?
I hear you. We'll boil this down to Yolanda is comfortable with where she's at in life. She's happy, and she is the one that is going to empower others. The end.
I could deal with that because it's very broad.
Yes.
It's very broad.
Absolutely.
I'm empowering people to be empowered.
And you're protected by the patient doctor rights. What do they call it? Protections of like whatever you talk about in your therapy, nobody else can understand. So you could be
and then there's just one other thing. Protection, that's another fantasy. There's no such thing as protection. There's none. Nobody has protection. If that were the
case, if you have a gun, you do.
These are the people who shoot the most because they're always scared. If I'm protected, I shouldn't be scared. Like the woman in Florida who just got shot knocking on someone's door.
Oh my God, so crazy.
That's right. Scared people shouldn't have guns. That should be the criteria.
Scared
Who the hell do you think is going to get the guns? It's not the people that feel empowered. Like if I knew I could kick everybody's ass, you know what? And I could beat up somebody who had a gun, I'd never need a gun. But if he got a gun, I'm going to get a bigger gun, you know? And if he got 2, I'm getting 5, you know? And I've got cameras and motion sensors. I mean, we're all so afraid. I mean,
Yeah.
I watch my neighbors. I say hey to them, but I still watch them.
Right, totally.
Mm.
You know, it like I think maybe that's part of what American, you know, that's the deal. You know, I'm gonna get you before you get me, and I'm trying not to get got. And then me, my thing is I'm not gonna get got because I'm ungettable. You're not gonna pin me down on nothing. I'm with everybody. I'm in every gang. Sorry, I'm with
All
everybody.
of them.
All of them. I agree with
Interesting.
everybody.
All right. I see how, you know, I can see the connection here. Very
Do you get it?
a neutral. Very
Yeah.
walk the line, you know. I got it.
But I also think, oh my God, it's like a dust something.
There's no dust down here.
Yes, there is.
It's no dust.
I also think it has to do with a little bit of like,
It what?
oh, the mentality of what you say being neutral, like to walk the line.
Yeah.
Although I do think that's definitely valid for me.
Well, as a therapist, I think you sometimes
Right.
have to.
But I feel like as a clinician, that's actually like all I do. Meaning like there are some moments where obviously I'm very, you know, like probably, you know, I can go a little closer this way. But if I'm talking about being neutral in the middle, as a clinician, the majority of the time, that's what it is. You are.
We need to get like a cough button.
I need some of this.
Jesus.
Well, I'll say this. I just want to put this out here. You know, walking the line is not easy. You know,
No,
it's
it's not.
easy to be a zealot.
It's
You
not.
know, it's to be able to.
You're right. You got to
Walking
be
the
able to
line,
weave in between all sides. I got
and
you.
that's called finesse, buddy. And that's where you
I
gotta
like
be.
that.
You gotta be there. Yeah, I believe that kind of a little bit sometimes. But what about this? I'm open to it all. Let's
How about this
Finesse.
question though? Right within that, how long you been a therapist?
Oh, I can't even remember. It's been a while. I know, I guess since '08. Yeah, since 2008. So what, 15 years?
Okay, so right around the same time you right?
I think so. I
Yeah.
think maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So what I think about when I hear you guys say that is you know, walking the line, we bobbing and flowing, finesse, all that other stuff. That's what you do on a daily basis, in and out, every single day, right? Now, is it possible that some people in your industry can lose their sense of opinion, their actual what they actually believe in, because they have to be so broad and like, you know, understanding of everybody's different ways and stuff? Like can a clinician like come out like 10, 15, 20 years later and be like, I don't even know what I actually believe in?
I mean, if they're completely, I guess, not doing any fucking actual, like, I don't know, work on
Self-work,
themselves, no
yeah.
fucking like
That's why
practice,
therapists
just
need
being
therapists.
mindful. That's why
Yeah.
every therapist actually really, it'd be great if every therapist had a therapist. Fuck.
Dude, if my therapist doesn't have a therapist, I'm not going to that therapist.
Yeah.
Right?
I
Well,
mean,
you know, this is one of the things that has kept Aaliyah and I in contact. Yes, we are friends, but what we probably talk to each other maybe once, twice a year,
mhm,
if that. We may
Oh,
text
really?
5 or 6 times a year.
Yeah.
mhm.
But if I'm ever in a situation where, and I use the word crisis with a little c, not with the big C. Let's say I have a client that I'm struggling with, or I'm in a situation where I'm not quite sure of the path I want to go, or I want to invite in more information. We have a group that's around us, and it used to be daily because we all work together,
Right.
and we were constantly honing our skills. And when you hone your skill, I think in a way, a therapist is a mirror, and individuals, you know, even me, my perception of who I am is clouded by my perception of who I believe I am. And so being able to be in front of someone who is a mirror, and that mirror has to be unclouded, meaning that those prejudices that when you come to me and you are in front of me, what I want to reflect back to you is who you are and what you are.
Totally,
I don't want that clouded with how I see you or what I believe or what you should do.
Yeah, that becomes an issue if that's the case.
And that's the part of it where I would say a therapist needs a therapist. It doesn't always, in my opinion, have to be in a therapeutic setting. It can be in like we are colleagues.
Right, just having conversation.
And then when we run into things that are new or difficult, and I may have not had the experience that she's had in a certain area, hey, give me a little bit of information on this. Okay, well, this is where I am, and this is what I'm thinking, and this is the way I want to go. And we bounce that back and forth. And, we have a couple of people that we can do that with. And it's just constantly to make yourself better. If you're a clinician and you are starting to lose who you are, then you're not a very good clinician at all. And if anything, being in that therapeutic setting with someone, you should become stronger in so many different areas, because you are able to vicariously walk through someone else's pain, through their trauma, through their triumph. You're able to do all of that vicariously. And in some ways, that's on you. You can't clean it all off. There's a part of that, and it's maybe a different level of empathy, different level of insight.
Yeah, I guess you guys could probably see that as like inspiring, right? You see somebody go through this whole process, and you're like, wow, I could do something like that in my life too, I guess. I'm kind of straying off a little bit, but I was just thinking about what you were saying.
Yeah. Well, look, I got some bullets for sale. They're only $3.
Only $10,000 each. Let me get 20 of them.
Yeah, all right. Hey. and there it is. I'm gonna drop out and start my cult.
Fucking cult.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, Leah's probably, her eyes are getting a little heavy.
I know. This is the latest for me. It's time for me to wrap this up.
Absolutely. It's 8:30 here. So I've enjoyed this. This was fun. You guys, it was very interesting. It was a conversation.
Oh, good. I'm glad you were on. We have to do this again, because you
maybe this could be this can be the therapy. This can be the new therapy session. Maybe we'll get some more therapists on here, and we'll all just give each other therapy.
I can do a round table.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
you
as
guys
long
point
as
your fingers at me because I'm not the therapist. Be like,
I got no problem with you. I like you. I like you.
Probably with you. We'll start with
I got no problem with you. Yeah, you're all right with me. Yeah. I got no problem with you. Not anyway, not now. Later we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I don't have any problems except for your $10,000 bullet, but
if you were able to make money off bullets, selling your bullet that you got for $3 for 10,000 a whop, would you have a problem with me then? Oh, there it is, the pause. Thank you.
There's a lot to think about there. Also, and I'm not even going to go down the road. I can't even go down the road. I can't even.
Also, because I will keep going.
$9,997 profit. Come on, who wouldn't take it? Right.
Who knows where we would be? Say if we didn't have guns 200 years ago, they took away the guns 200 years ago. Where the fuck will we be right now? We would be goddamn China.
This is the thing. Nobody is saying take the guns away.
All right, just can take the bullets away.
Take the bullet. I don't care. Everybody
All right, it's the same fucking thing. All right, take the protections away from people.
No offense. Have you not heard of pistol whipping? It's still a viable way to hurt somebody.
Well, then we cannot compete with government.
Hey, look, there was a time when they had swords on the ends of guns. We've come a long way, okay? We've come a long way.
We got some side conversations to have.
Yeah,
absolutely. Side conversations.
Absolutely.
I'm a Democrat now, though, so.
Don't do that. Don't be that. Don't do that.
Maybe we have
bob and weave. Be a Demo Republican. A Demo public. Yeah. A Demo publicrat. Yeah, that's it. Be a Demo publicrat.
Yeah. We're nothing. or nothing. We
All
should
right,
just,
guys.
yeah.
Guys, you guys, I
right.
have to go.
All right.
You know what?
Just
You
balance
are.
it. Now there was one time we did a late podcast and she was like actually like had her eyes closed and shit.
Yeah,
She just like
yeah.
starts drifting off.
I
did not
gotta
know.
tell you, I admire that because that's kind of how I roll. When I'm done, I'm like, all right, see ya.
I gotta go. I gotta get out of here.
All right. Hey, look, thank you
Right.
guys so much. I enjoyed this. It was super fun.
Yes.
Peace out. Bullets for
Bye.
sale. Bullets for sale.
Thanks for coming on. We'll talk to you
All
later.
right. All right. Bye.
Bye. Thanks, Yolanda.